One of the great things about the program is the quality of the faculty. Ed Mulhouse, who's still a part of the faculty there, his passion, his ability to simplify complex concepts and really to bring to life the power of data. So Ed is one that I think of often.
I got to spend, 2-3 months in Washington, D.C., and Professor Mary Coffey and Professor Sharon Cornely were our instructors. And it was great to have 2 female professors in a predominantly almost all female class, and they could relate to us as being women in the business.
Richard Haney, who I'm sure a lot of folks mention from their time.
The kind of the gruff city editor from Central Casting.
He was just the most classic old newspaper man, curmudgeonly and witty, and we were all sort of terrified of him, and that we loved him at the same time.
He really taught me how to report. He taught me how to ask that extra question.
He had these great, words of wisdom that he would always impart on us, which of course is, if your mother tells you she loves you, check it out. These papers, and I'm just going to show you one here, and it's a typewritten story from David Nelson, and it says, A, well written, be careful in expressing your opinion about another's success.
The idea that I was learning with my colleagues, the idea that the professors were really engaging, the social impact of journalism, all of those things really became apparent to me from the first class on.
I didn't start out in Medill. I started out in the Weinberg College of Arts and Sciences majoring in indecision. I didn't know what I wanted to major in. I remember this frenetic energy around the newsroom and around the control room. I was just sitting there watching because I had never done this before. And the lights went down and the anchors, the music was queued up. The anchors started reading their copy. And I thought, what a performance. What an incredible moment. And that was, I think, the moment where I decided I needed to go into broadcast journalism. And it all happened right at Medill.
Without Medill, there would be no me and there would be no career, honestly. I still talk about it to this day. This business is very tough, and Medill got me ready. I felt that when I left Medill, I was, head and shoulders above the rest.
It was either going to be fashion or advertising. So I said, let's give advertising a go, and ended up at the IMC program. It has impacted my life. It changed the way I honestly view everything I do in my career.
But IMC perfectly set me up. I joined DirecTV to build out their direct-to-consumer business. I had all the tools. It really set me up for success.
The things that you need to be able to do as a jury trial lawyer are very much the same things that you're taught when you're learning how to be a news reporter. Ask the right questions. Keep asking questions until you're confident that you know the answer, you know the facts, and understand them.
Everything that I learned as a student at Medill in terms of thinking critically and ask really probative questions are skill sets that I've carried on in my career as a professional, and I've tried to share that with folks when I act as a strategic counselor to our clients.
It affirmed fairly early that I had a penchant for freelance writing and that I was not cut out for news writing. And so it helped direct me to a version of a career that really suited my personality.
I planned on maybe doing journalism for 2 years and then going to law school or doing something that seemed like it would be reasonable and safe. And then I learned the wonder of being able to go out into the world and ask people questions. I learned just how much could change when a story that you are doing meant something to people, how it could change perspectives, how it could change laws.
Medill really pushed me to my limits and made me believe that I could do things that I never thought I could do. And now I look back at some of the things I've accomplished in my career and I smile. I smile because it all started back in Evanston, Illinois, and Medill School of Journalism.
I am just so grateful to be included among this mighty list of journalists who've had this amazing training from Medill that is above all the rest.
I am thrilled to represent this industry in the Hall of Achievement, and I'm thrilled to also do it with my lifelong partner, my bestie, my friend, my fellow alum, my husband, David.
This is obviously not something that happens a lot And to be recognized in this way by a school that made us who we are today, first reaction was just one of complete pride and joy.
I can't thank enough those who considered my credentials and came to the conclusion that I fit in. So thanks to everyone.
To know that there are so many well-renowned journalists across the country who have done so many remarkable things, and to see my name and my face right next to everybody else is an unbelievable honor.
It's such an incredible honor when I look around at the achievements of my fellow graduates over the years, and to just be included in that elite group is just it has such an incredible special meaning to me.
I went from corporate side of marketing into the agency business, into owning and running my own agency now for nearly 20 years. And so to be acknowledged, I'm truly grateful for it. I'm grateful for it all.
And I've worked hard throughout the years to make my peers and the university proud. In fact, I've hired several IMC students and always been impressed in terms of the quality of talent that has come out of the program. So given the success of this program, it's a huge honor to be selected to Medill's Hall of Achievement.
When I was an 18-year-old freshman heading to Northwestern, and I remember at the time looking at not just the students that went to Medill, but those who had graduated from here, and looking up to them and thinking, I hope that one day I can make a contribution like some of the mentors that I had while I was at Medill. And it is really fulfilling, and I'm incredibly grateful that I've been able to graduate from Medill and make a contribution to journalism.
It's a little surreal to me to get this kind of honor. I received so many kindnesses from so many folks. I hope it helps them feel that the work they had invested in me has come due and it has, made them proud.